What's going on, guys? Sheba here, and in the last review video, we talked about Steve. No, not Steve Harrington, but the other great Steve of our time, Steve Lacy. And as we all know, Lacy is approaching his third studio album at a rate rather unclear. So today, we're going to go over everything we can expect from Steve Lacy's upcoming album. As confirmed by Steve himself in his interview with Rolling Stone, the album is not called Nice Shoes, despite popular belief, as that was simply a song title. Meanwhile, the actual album is titled Oh Yeah, but it's meant to be read specifically in the style of a question, so, oh yeah? Which to me indicates that Steve plans to challenge his work from Gemini rights and anything before that, gaining further confidence in how the world perceives his work, but knowing he certainly hasn't peaked yet and can go even further. Like most great albums, Steve confirmed in his interview with Days that, and I quote, "This album is inspired by real life, human emotions, the chaos of human emotions," and also saying, "It's all like a story that starts and gets completed, but it happens in real time." As said by Steve when talking to Jeffy Haza, Steve revealed that Oh Yeah has been in development since directly after Gemini Rights was released, but that it has been a process of feeling content and complete with the album, but then going back and making alterations to a degree we can only guess. He specifically said there were at least 3 times he was prepared to wrap the album, but that it was truly a few months ago where he believed the album truly began to take shape and become what I hope we'll be hearing very soon. Features are a rocky road when it comes to this album, as it's more of a spot the clues and less of a here's what Steve said in whatever interview it was kind of thing. So here's my educated guesses of who could join Steve on the new album. Suspect number 1 is Fouché, a close friend of Steve's who he's now worked on roughly 6 or more songs with in just the last few years, most famously Sunshine being one of them. So yes, I would assume Fouché is on the album. Suspect number 2 is Malcolm Todd, a rising alternative and somewhat indie artist who is often considered white Steve Lacy by people I struggle to agree with. And as far as I'm concerned, Todd is 99% a part of this album, just given the large amount of comparisons between the two, and the fact that Steve literally posted Todd on Instagram actively in the studio with him. Now, suspect number 3 could be the largest stretch ever, or the most obvious feature on the album. And that's the internet. Now, if you haven't heard, not only is Steve Lacy working on a new album, but the internet, after years of seemingly distancing into separate career paths, are also making another album, their final one as it's rumored to be. And so considering the fact that Steve is actively working with some of his closest friends in the industry, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Sid, Matt Martians, or maybe even the whole crew spread throughout this album. But maybe I'm crazy. Now, although there is plenty more speculation and questions I could try and answer, I didn't want this video to be another iceberg, and instead I intended keeping it to mainly what Steve has said word for word and expanding on it. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. So if you could, subscribe and the rest. Peace.